tin-plated copper coins. By starting many new government programs, he ran out of money. He just printed more. The wealthy understood what was happening, and they would not spend their gold or silver, hence making them even richer, while the poor were left with almost the worth of copper coins at the time. The poor became more dependent upon the government, while the price of gold was continuing to increase. They removed the emperor from office, but no restrictions on the currency was done. So to make a very long story short, the economy never got back on track, and eventually fell to the Visigoths, or who we know are Germans today. There are similar stories in France in 1750, Germany during Hitler's regime, or Argentina and Japan in the 1990s. Do we really need money? Not really. The truth is, most people don't realize that the issuance of money is essentially a private business, and that the privilege of issuing money has been a major problem throughout history. Wars fought, depressions caused, many lives lost in the battle over who issued money. However, many of us are not aware that this is largely due to the fact that the winning side has become, and increasingly continues, to be a vital, respected members of a global society, having influence over large aspects of our lives, maybe world leaders, including they control our education, our media, our food, medicine, news, and they control our government. Look here, in the United States, is it a coincidence that Lincoln was killed shortly after issuing greenbacks when he said no to the money changes because they wanted to charge 24 to 36% interest to do so? I quote Lincoln, "Money will cease to be the master and become the servant of humanity. Democracy will rise superior to the money power." In April 1864, Lincoln put $14 million greenbacks into the economy. They were called greenbacks because they used as green eggs. Now, when the money changers seen what was happening, they created the National Bank Act. This was quickly put in front of Congress. And was passed, was put in front of Congress in 1864 and was passed in 1865. The point was the entire money supply would be created out of debt by the bankers. The U.S. bonds issued from the reserves. Basically, they were saying that the reserves had to be created by the private industry. In April 14, 1865, Lincoln was assassinated 41 days after his second inauguration. John F. Kennedy was killed shortly after making silver certificates a form of currency. He printed $4.2 billion of them by an executive order. Signed June 4th, 1863, killed November 22nd, June 4th, 1963, and was killed November 22nd, 1963. Realize that the Rothschild's fortune exceeds over $900 trillion. The Rockefeller fortune exceeds over $200 trillion. Yet we suffer. While we might feel powerless in trying to stop the manipulation of money for private profit at our expense, it is easy to forget that we collectively give money its value. We have been taught to believe that these printed pieces of paper have special value because we know others believe this too. So we're willing to work our entire lives to get what we are convinced that others want. An honest look at history will show us that this has been a misuse. I didn't just come here to bring you some information. I dare to stand before you and offer a solution. Let's look at our ancestors, indigenous to the land. We bartered, we lived like kings, long before our European counterparts invaded us to discover our land. The evidence of our history needs to be sought after, so many of us would know that we are capable of working together. Look at other cultures that unite their resources, the Chinese, the Jews, the Koreans, the Italians, the list goes on. But they all have learned to work together. History is still on our side when you look back to the Black Wall Street, 1936. We had the largest black business in the United States. And history documents very effectively how successful blacks have had everything taken from them. And what is such an important component to understanding Africana womanism is that they had to live with the gnawing fear that our European counterparts at any time could do something violent and take everything from us today. Black nationalism, or should we call it Afro-American nationalism? Is that the political correct term? By definition, black nationalism advocates a racial definition of black national identity, as opposed to multiculturalism. There are different black nationalist philosophies, but the principle of all the black nationalist ideologies are black pride, black economic, political, social, and cultural independence from our European counterparts. If I have land and you have land, with law exists and we can't do business together. Our success has to be visualized. Let's just start by securing food, clothing, and shelter. With this in place, we can do anything and everything. I would encourage you all to buy gold and other precious metals, collectively, individually, because they will never lose their value, no matter what happens to our economy. Dr. Theophile Wenger delivered a speech at the first DF conference back in 2000 in Philadelphia. And he said the brothers and sisters will be able to master, the brothers and sisters that will be able to master the finer aspects of capitalism will be able to take them back to Mother Africa. As we are here at the first Africana Womanism Symposium, we must realize that none of these works without the unity of our families could endure. We have matured enough as a people to enjoy the divine laws of prosperity. In closing, it is not the strongest nor the most intelligent that will survive on this planet, but the ones that are most adapted to change. The only constant in this world